Now, all right, so Vince here with Michelle Pescosolido. We're talking all about her awesome and amazing story tonight about how Global Resorts Network changed her life. I'm also a product of Global Resorts Network changing my life, so we're just gonna have a good time tonight. I've never really, I kind of read, Michelle, your blog post a little bit about it, and it was really inspiring because it seems like both you and I mean, once we got into this company, it was like an instant shift in
Yeah.
everything. And that's what's cool about it. And I always tell people it really starts from the top. It starts with Mark Hoverson's wisdom, the company co-owner, and it is so much more than a product with him around it. It's that wisdom, that guidance, all that stuff that he passes down into us, which therefore passes down to everybody else who comes with us. That's what's kind of nice about it. It's just one of those deals that just pass down into all the people that really get into this company. And people are seeing the vision now. They love what we're doing. And I'm just really excited to have you on, talk all about your story tonight, kind of get the little background of everything, where you started and all that good stuff. So go
Yeah.
ahead, Michelle. Without further ado, let it ride. Let everybody know your story. Let everybody know how Global Resorts Network and Mark Hoverson and everything around this community just really, changed the direction of your life and all that good stuff. And a lot of people obviously want to know about Bill. If he's around, have him pop
I
in a little bit.
know.
If he's
He was
around, have
it was funny because he was like, I showed him the picture. I was like, look how cool this graphic is. He said, that's all you. And I was like, oh, come on, you can come in on this. So
the
he's actually at the store and picking up the girls from swimming. So maybe, if I get halfway through, maybe he'll be back or something. We'll see.
cool, cool,
Um,
cool.
but yeah, it's a pretty cool story, and I'm happy to be able to share it tonight. And seriously, Vincent, if you need to chime in or anything and
Definitely.
contribute, I would love for you to do that also. I love these hangout formats where we can just kind of kick back and talk to people, share the vision. Share how things that the Global Resorts and Mark Hoverson has changed our lives. And I don't think a lot of people, for me, know the story. They've heard the 6 figures in 6 months, or at the time I was the single mom of two. And so, they hear those stories, but and I think a lot of people think that I started just out in network marketing. And, that's not really where I started out. I got into this industry a little over 3 years ago. And it's a simple story, like probably a lot of people out there. They were looking for a way to make some additional income. For me, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom or continue that with my children. I was forced in to a position at one point in my life. I'd been married for like 14 years, went through a bad, nasty divorce. Hopefully he's not spying in on this call, but went in, through a nasty divorce, was out with my two kids, trying to figure out, what was I going to do? All I know is I walked away from, in a mentally, psychologically abusive relationship. And, oh, there's a little kitty outside.
As you can see, we have ADD. We see something, we're gone.
Oh my God, I've been looking for a cat to come, chase the rabbits out of our yard because we got this like new landscaping and they're eating all our flowers.
Nice, nice.
So anyways, I did what I thought I needed to do and was just go back to school. And I went back to school, ended up with a double degree in child development and psychology. And, I knew that my life as a stay-at-home mom was coming to an end, and that just tore me up, tremendously inside, because I was one of those people that I said, if I'm going to commit to having children, I'm going to be the one taking care of those kids. I don't want a nanny doing it. I don't want the daycare doing it. If they fall and scrape their knees, I want to be the person putting the Band-Aid on or kissing the bobos or, taking them to their doctor's appointments, or, if they're in a play at school, I wanted to be able to just go freely and not have to worry about a job. And so that scared me a lot, that I was going to lose that. And I did. I graduated and I got a job working with children with autism. And while it was very rewarding, and I did it for about 8 months, what was so difficult for me is I was so drained by the time I got home, because I don't know if you know or if you've been around any children with autism. God bless them, but as a therapist, I got kicked, I got bit, I got punched, I got peed on, I got pooped on. It was very mentally draining. When I got home, I was not an effective parent at all, and I knew something had to change. And I just made the decision one day, and I always have one of those entrepreneurial minds. If I come up with an idea, it's all over. I get laser focused and I run with it. I've got all this energy into it, and I've got to implement it even till I figure it out. You know, it's just who I am. And so I had this little seed planted in my mind that I could do network marketing. And back then I was kind of naive. I didn't know there were so many companies out there. And I started like in a health and wellness business. And
yeah, who didn't? I did too. I started in health and wellness as well.
Yeah, so a friend of mine was losing weight. I happened to meet up with her, and you know, ADD, like we talk about, I would love to be able to take Adderall, but you know, you got to get a prescription, and it changes your life. You get laser focused. I'm just being honest. I know. It's a magical drug. But I knew it wasn't good for my health, and it wasn't good for me to continue taking it. And so she had a natural remedy, and I took it, and it was exactly like it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this stuff's amazing. And there goes my wheels turning. And I thought I could change the world, you know, and I could sell this to all the college students, and I'm going to be rich. And yeah, that was, you know, not quite how it turned out when I got involved. And I lasted for about 4 months, and it just so happened that, for those of you that don't know, Eric Wilkes. Do you know Eric, Vincent? Yeah, you do.
Yeah. I met him through Global Resorts in this community. He's awesome.
Okay, well, he was in that company. He was one of the top guys in there, and through a course of just, you know, crappy events, I lost my entire upline and got pushed up to him, and that's when our relationship formed. And I'll never forget, you know, I was learning the old school way, you know, chasing around friends and family, connecting with my old high school buddies, my elementary friends. And while I did pretty good, I definitely recruited people and got product users. I was like, gosh, this is really getting draining, and I'm not actually starting to lose friends. They don't want to hang out with me anymore because I'm going to pitch them on my product and opportunity. And that's when I discovered online marketing. So that gets to the point of how I leveraged this. And that was in August. So, you know, August coming up, it'll be 3 years. And so when I did that, you know, I was picking Eric's brain a lot. And I sensed something was going on with Eric. And he had been talking about Mark Hoverson a lot. And, you know, how awesome he was, how he has this travel company, and you know that we're going to be doing this masterminding with him. He just kind of kept telling me about the things we were going to do, and I sensed something was up because I saw him pulling back from the company we were in. And I picked up the phone one day and I said, look, wherever you're going, I'm going. Just tell me where you're going, you know. And he finally said, all right, I just joined Global Resorts. And I was like, all right, I'm in. And he was like, okay, it's $3,000. That's back when back when it was 3,000.
Right.
Yeah, there's different levels. I don't remember. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't have $3,000. And he was like, well, you better come up with it. And I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to come up with it. And I remember scrambling around. I found some old gold jewelry, and I took it to a sell your gold shop, and I got like $800 for it there. I sold some old luggage that I had. It was like this Louis Vuitton luggage, and I sold that. And, you know, I came up with a, you know, good amount of money. But ironically, it was about the time that, you know, I was getting married. So all of our money was going into that wedding. And I mentioned that in that blog post. And, you know, Bill was not on board at this time. He thought, you know, and if you watch that video, and I can always show it, but, you know, watch that video, he was the non-supportive spouse. Not in a way like, you know, I mean, like, if he would have really put the hammer down on me, I would have quit. I would have quit the whole industry because I didn't want to upset him. But he just was like, is this a hobby? You know, this isn't really going to amount to anything. When are you going to get a real job? And I'm thinking to myself, I got to make this happen because I am not going back into the work world. And so I was dealing with that with him. And so we're getting married. We're living paycheck to paycheck, you know, behind on our mortgage, behind on car payments, because we had to pay for our own wedding. And I remember, you know, going to that wedding, getting married, and thinking in the back of my mind, I gotta get in this, because, you know, I knew the importance of working with somebody like Mark Hoverson. And I really, one of the things that I want to stress to everybody that's watching this, that it's so important that you lock arms with, one, people that are going places, that are always moving upward and moving forward. Not in a way that, you know, they're going to stop and hang out with you and help you. I'm talking like Mark was running. and paving the way. And all I had to do was run behind him, on that same path. And when you can lock arms with somebody like that, you can pretty much, like for me, when I looked at that, I thought to myself, wow, I can literally just get off of everybody's list, because Mark gave me so much wisdom when I would listen to him. I just connected. It's like, and I know you can relate to this, Vincent. It's like you hear him speak, and it's like he know. It's like he goes. I swear, I tell him he has a sixth sense. He freaks me out sometimes, because he'll pick up the phone and call me in the when I'm having a moment, and it's like he senses it somehow, and he'll be like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'll be like, "How do you know something's going on?" So I was able to just, I connected with him, and it was just one of those, I don't know, it's like you just felt like you knew it was right. So I knew I had to move mountains to make sure this worked. And so that money that I had, accumulated through selling stuff, we went on our honeymoon and got hit by a hurricane down in St. Lucia. A hurricane there hadn't been one in 30 years, but on our honeymoon it decided to hit. So we were stranded. I had to take that money and use that to get off the island. So there went Global Resorts.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I called my mom, and I was like, I really needed to sign up. I promised them that I would, and I borrowed money from her, and she paid for the membership. And I'm telling you, I got back, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, how am I going to explain this to Bill? I'm in a new, because you can't hide as a spouse what you're working on.
Right.
Especially when you're on webinars, and he's going to see, you're talking about Global Resorts, what happened to the health and wellness, and how did you get into that? So I lied. I was like, oh, no, it didn't cost anything. We're just, so I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I got to figure out how to make sales quickly. And I show that, in the blog post. I mean, I think within that month, I'd made 3 or 4 sales immediately, recouped my money very quickly. And, from there, what happened was a magical thing happened, obviously. I didn't just catch the eye of Mark Hoverson. Just because I signed on the dotted line with Eric didn't mean that I had Mark Hoverson's attention.
Right.
And I think this is something he teaches also. I mean, you've got to do something in order to catch an eye of somebody like that. And so when I made those sales so quickly, and I was one of those people that when he gave instructions to do something to a whole group of people, I actually did it. And a lot of people, the fact is you show somebody how to do something, 95% of them probably will not go out and do it. But as simple as it seems, seriously, I just did it. And it really seems when I look at it, I was like, it really wasn't that hard. I just did what I was told and got results. And I think that a lot of people don't get that a lot of times, that if you just do what somebody's proven, Mark Hoverson is a proven leader. If he's telling you to do something, you should probably do it, even if it's uncomfortable. And trust me, there were a lot of uncomfortable moments for me with him. And so, from there, I started making those sales. I was not doing MLM. I was doing Global Resorts. I was building relationships with people and sharing the value of this membership, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you think about it, how many of you like to take vacations out there? I know I do, but could I afford to spend $3,000 or $4,000 to take the entire family? We're about to go to Disney World in June, and I'm actually was looking at to stay somewhere in, Disney. And I mean, I'm looking at $6,000, $7,000, and I'm just like, wow, that's a lot of money that I could actually take and put elsewhere. I go in my back office, GRN Resort, I think it's the Sheraton Vistana, very nice resort, $600 the entire week for a 2-bedroom unit, the entire family right outside the gates of Disney. I mean, think about that, being able to do things like that with your family. And I've always said that, that's one of the reasons why selling this membership just on the retail side of it really makes sense to a lot of people, because, it gives you, like, it almost gives you a reason to go on vacation when you see that many good deals in your back office. Places that we never would have thought to go to. Did you want to say something about that?
No, it's just when you're talking about the deals and the specials that are in the back office of what we get access to, I mean, you can get lost in there and just going like, is this for real? I mean, and it's like people do it. We have all kinds of testimonies of people going on these trips and just Like, most people just don't get it, like how it even happens and all that good stuff. But I mean, we're talking about saving thousands upon thousands of dollars on these trips, and you can obviously see them below this video. If you go check out the blog, you can see some good examples of it. We'll show you here in a little bit, but keep going, Michelle. I mean, it's just one of those things that's almost mind-blowing, the fact of when most people think of vacations, they think, okay, I got to save up all year to go on one vacation, right?
Yeah.
Because it costs multiple thousands of dollars, when you can take a GRN vacation at the same places people are paying thousands of dollars, and you're only paying $400 for the entire freaking week. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
So,
I like the lady that does my hair. She saved up all. I said, she's like, I've been planning this all year. You know, not just this year. We're talking an entire year, 12 months of planning to go to Cabo. You know, and I'm just like, and I mean, Cabo's not that expensive, you know, but she's been saving, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, you know, I get in that back office and I'm looking at it going, I can go to Italy, or I could go to Florida on the beach, or I could go over to California, or I could go to Canada, or I can go down to the Caribbean to St. Thomas, or, you know, the Bahamas or Grand Cayman, you know, like, where do I want to go? You know, that's what I like about it. And so that's, you know, for me, you know, like I said, I was on the internet by then, and I was trying to build, you know, the business, which I was doing pretty good to start out by signing on that dotted line. And it was all just by, you know, developing those relationships with people and leveraging, like having something to leverage was key to making sales in GRN. And that's what we have here. I think now we have more leverage now than we did back then when I did it. My leverage was, and I know Mark jokes about this a lot, because I'm like, you know, you get to work with myself, Mark Hoverson, and Eric Wilkes. You know, that was my leverage at that time. You know, whether Mark was going to work with them or not, I leveraged that, you know, because I made him do it. I was like, you're going to do it, right? Because I told him you would, you know. So, you know, when we talk about leveraging, I mean, that's what you know, why I was so successful in the beginning, is I had that leverage.
exactly.
And then from there, you know, it's, you know, once you start getting, you know, making some sales, like, you know, what I had done back then, I remember getting to a point where, let's see, I got online at about, you know, September, October, and about February, I had, you know, taken the skills that I had learned on the internet, you know, to make these sales, and I created my first little product. I mean, it was $47, a little bitty Facebook course, and, you know, I think I made $10,000 just one night, you know, selling that little $47 course with the help of Mark, you know, obviously helping me promote it, because that's what happens when you join a company like this, and you're working in a community like this. You get leaders who are going to help you, if, you know, obviously if you're working with them, you know, to get you to that next level. And that's one of the things that Mark helped me do.
Right.
You know, and then from there, I mean, you know, it just starts with just a little bit of exposure. I mean, it really does. I mean, for somebody like Mark Hoverson to drop my name out there, catches a few people's eye, you know, and then it just starts to a snowball effect from there if, you know, you continue, which is I continue to do, to deliver that value all the time.
Yeah, because if you, I mean, think about just tonight, for example. I mean, you started with literally nothing. You get in Global Resort, you start making some sales. Mark talks about you, and now a few years later, how long ago was it? It was only 3 years ago, right? When you started, 2010, and then so 3 years later, you got like hundreds of people sending a lot of people to this place tonight.
Right.
After just being going from this, so it's just a leverage situation. You start somewhere, you get leverage, leverage, leverage. Now Michelle can go from here, from anywhere she wants now, and create little mini products and make money off of that kind of stuff too. So what's nice about this community is, because we're internet marketers, you can get in this community, make a name for yourself, and you can leverage this for anything you want to do. That's the cool thing about what we have to offer as well. And then speaking of the internet, you know, a lot of people want to know how you use the internet to do this. It's just so much easier. Michelle's not out there just banging door to door, or, you know, doing all these home meetings and all this stuff for Global Resorts Network. She sends people these awesome webinars, you know, because I'm sure you guys did webinars back then too, right? Like go-to meetings and all that.
Yeah, go-to meetings.
Yeah, you just send people to these webinars. You leverage our stories and what Michelle's done, and you just leverage what we've done. And you don't have to be the person to sell anything anymore.
Right.
You just send people here. You just talk about the great benefits of what we have to offer, and you can see below, and I'll go over it here in a little bit. and you just send people here. It's so much
Oh,
easier.
it is. I'm all about leveraging. You know, and I'm sure you get the sense of that as we were talking before this. I was, you know, I was like, do I have to put makeup on? You know, I mean, I'm lazy. I mean, people don't know that. I mean, I shouldn't say I'm not really lazy, but, you know, I would much rather leverage. I mean, if you've got something like this, like what we have, what we're sharing with you, the system that you have in place for everybody that's available, that is leveraging. Don't go out there and try to. That's one of the biggest lessons I learned is in fact, it was a funny story because I had won this mastermind with Mark.
Hmm.
And I think I had gone out in probably January. And because I made the most sales, so Eric and I got to go out there, and it was the first time I ever met Mark in person. And I remember he was going to sit down with me, and I'm thinking, I was so naive back then. I was trying to create my own capture page, my own sales funnel. I had my video, and when somebody opted in, they were going to go through this big boot camp. And you know, I spent hours upon hours, an entire week, all-nighters, putting this thing together. I was thinking I was bad, man. I was so excited. And I get to Mark's house, and he's like, all right, what do you got? And I sit down, and I was like, okay, so I created this page, and he watched the video and laughed his butt off at me. I mean, and I wanted to cry. And I was like, I worked so hard on this, and you're laughing at me. Talk about never wanting to show somebody anything ever again. I mean, you're laughing because you probably know. And
I know exactly what this page looked like. I just can just see it.
and I'm just like, really? This is a great way to get me never to show you anything again. And what's so funny about it is part of my past growing up was like I never could do anything. I always told Mark he's like my dad. You know, I never can do anything right. You know, and I sound like Mark is so wonderful. It's tough love is what it is. I don't want him. I don't want to sound like he's a horrible person because I love his tough love.
Mm-hmm.
I actually now will go to him to get criticized because that's what I need. But it's funny because my dad, it was always like that growing up. You know, oh, you got an A, you should have gotten an A plus. You know, it was always like that. So like when Mark did that to me, it just brought back these horrible memories, and I was just like almost in tears. And he laughed, and he was like, "And you did what? You created all this? Why did you build the train tracks all the way to Alaska when it's probably going to break right here in Arizona?" And I was like, I guess you're right.
I guess you're right.
So
When I look back at the things I created when I first started out, because we get this mentality when we start out that we just don't want to invest money in systems that work, right? We think we can magically do it, and we both talk to people all the time. We're like, well, let me just try to create this little site thing, and we see it, and they're like, nobody's gonna. What are you doing? You know, but we know we've been there. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what's nice about what we've created for people now. It's like you're talking about creating all this stuff, funnels, blah blah blah.
yeah.
And they don't have to do that anymore. You know, they get these websites set up for them. They get this page. They get to leverage your story, leverage all the other leader stories that we bring on, and it's just there is no easier way anymore to do what we're offering. You know, that's the cool thing about it. Michelle got to where she is today, doing all the stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, you still probably had to create some pages, you still had to do some things, get everything done for you, and kind of go through the grind and all that. But at the end of the day, now you guys don't have to do that anymore. That's what's nice about it.
It's all about leveraging. And again, when I made that $10,000, I remember Bill sitting next to me, and it was the first time he started kind of perking up, going, wow. I mean, like all these little PayPal payments kept coming in, and it built up to like 10,000. He was like, wow. And I was like, now imagine if that happened consistently, And so then the next month, I think I was right at about 10,000 in income. And then that next month, it was getting a little bit more, and then No Excuses came in April of that year. So I hadn't even been in the online world for a year yet. And that came, and I got him to Vegas. And I remember him meeting, he met Mark for the second time, because he actually met Mark back at a Jeffrey Combs event. And that didn't go over well. Jeffrey Combs was very insulting to Bill and to me. Yeah, it did not go over well. That's not what you want to do with a non-supportive spouse. You don't want to make them mad, and that's what happened. So luckily, Mark came in, took us to dinner, and he actually hit it off with Mark really well, because Mark got it. He understood that there are non-supportive spouses out there. And so then when we went to Vegas, Mark got on stage and kind of used me as a case study in his presentation. And that blew away, Bill's mind. He was like, okay, there are genuine people in this industry. this guy's up there helping you. This is amazing. You know, he introduced me to the right people. And, you know, from there, we walked out of No Excuses that weekend. I think our business pretty much doubled or tripled. And the income kept going up and up. In August of that year, he was able, because I had surpassed his income in corporate America, which was a healthy six-figure salary. And he looked over at me and was like, okay, you're in your pajamas.
He's like, wait a second.
I'm going to work every day in this suit. And I'm sitting here on Friday hoping my boss leaves early so I can leave early while you're just hanging out, getting some sun on your laptop in the backyard. Who's the jerk now? That's how he puts it. And so yeah, so we just made it. I remember Mark panicked because we were like, oh, Bill quit his job, and he was like, really? You already? You know, he was like freaking. I was like, okay, awesome. I'm proud of you guys, and I think we surprised him because you know, we didn't take a hit at all. We just kept running with it. He fit right into the industry and found his place, and now he's an awesome prospector and closer. And you know, he picked up where, you know, I don't, you know, necessarily like to do certain things. He's really awesome at it. So, you know, I, you know, owe a lot to this company. I owe a lot to Mark Hoverson, you know, and I thank him all the time. You know,
it's almost like I was talking about it in the last webinar. There's like a shift that happens when you get into this community, and like when you start making the sales that happen in this, and they're, you know, $1,000, $3,250 sales, and up to $7,700. Like your mind like flips, and that's when you were talking about how Mark was like he's gone. I mean, he already took it. You know, he stopped his corporate job, and you're just thinking to yourself, like, of course, like,
yeah,
I see where this is happening. You know, like he saw it now. He's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, because you're talking about PayPal payments. Well, now on even with Global Resorts, it's like these payments are multiple $1,000 payments, and it's just like I just did that in one sale. You know, it's like that's what's crazy about Global Resorts. So I know what happened when you were talking about that. Like when you shifted away from it, and you weren't even afraid of, you know, the income leaving, because you just get it. Like once you get that feeling, you know that it's on. Like that's what I did to myself. Like when I started getting the Global Resorts Network around Hoverson, that's when I was like, you know, I had a really, really good month, like a really solid month. But at the end of the day, if I went and sat down and did nothing, I would have had nothing. But what I did is I went out and spent a ton of money, bought a freaking house, and got all this stuff. And people were like, holy crap, are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's nothing. I don't see it another way anymore. I know what can happen in my life, you know? And then so that's why you're the same way. You did that, and your income goes and goes and goes. Now you even have Bill supporting you, and now he does the same thing. It's just like, it's awesome what happens when that shift takes place around the people that we have in this industry. The right people, of course. And that's what's cool about Global Resorts Network is Hoverson, the co-founder of this, or the co-owner of this, the connections that he has. When you start building up through this network that we have, we get to connect with all the other big leaders in this industry, which then, I mean, people around here, we just support each other. That's what's nice. Like when you get to that level, everybody is so supportive of each other's businesses and things like that. That's what's really cool too, the space that we're in, you know?
Yeah, and I want people to, you know, when we have multiple streams of income, of course. So some of you that are on here that know us know that we do have other income streams, but I want to paint that picture for you so you understand kind of like what you touched on, you know, what it feels like to, you know, have the groundwork done and in place, you know. So that may mean in this situation leveraging, you know, what you're going to discuss tonight, you know, the tools that we have now that's brand new to this whole community, by leveraging that and getting it in the hands of the right people, what it's like to make a sale and earn, you know, $3,250, and it literally take only 10 to 20 minutes on the phone with somebody. You know, there are other income streams out there, we're a part of them, that to get a $3,250 sale takes a lot more work, a lot more people, a lot more babysitting, a lot more coaching, you know, a lot more of your time, when you can make one sale and you get a $3,250 commission. Or I've gotten a $7,700 one also.
And then, well, think about how, think of, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
think
when
about
you wake
how,
up and you get that, and you walk in the other room, and there's sometimes Bill who's been, you know, on the phone all day coaching calls, prospecting, closing, and I walk in, I was like, oh, just made a sale. He's like, okay. you know, I did all this all day for X amount of dollars, which is nowhere close to that, you know.
Hmm.
So it's really nice to be able to have this option. And you know, people ask me all the time, oh, are you still with GRN? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would not. It's part of our business. You know, I would not walk away from it. I wouldn't even walk away from it. Just, you know, the biggest thing is this community, and now having Rhonda Swan involved in it, and you too, Vincent. You know, just the community that's coming together in this makes it even more powerful for leveraging. And you know, it's just being able to work with Mark, and you know, the connections that he can create for all of us, because the community is not just too big that's not, you know, unmanageable for him. It's
Hmm.
good enough that when we show up at events, it's a good event, you know, for our community, when we hang out with him and the connections we can all make and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. What did your husband think the first time that you made a sale that was over $1,000 in one sale? Like, because I know when you first started, it was a $3,000 deal and you made 1,000. Now it's 5,000, you make 3,250 on that middle one. What did he think like when it was like one sale, that much money? Because then what you were used to was having to have multiple hundreds of people to even come close to that kind of money in most organizations. Like what,
Yeah.
like, because I remember when I felt that sale, like I literally walked around my room and I was like, my heart started literally pounding. I was like, this is freaking crazy, you know? Like, what did
Yeah.
you guys feel like?
I know. Well, it became a reality, and it came very exciting because, you know, I was hung up on in the early beginning of like, oh my gosh, how am I going to sell such a high ticket? And it's really a mindset. It's really all it is. I mean, when people say I can't even sell a $500 package, it's crap. I mean, you can sell a high ticket program. Yes, your baby blues are coming in, Rhonda.
Um,
Vincent
what?
wanted to know,
What's going on?
will you share with him real quick, like back when I would make that, when I made that first $1,000 sale, I mean, what did you think? Like, what were your thoughts at that time?
I thought it was
First,
awesome.
the first couple, though, he didn't know about, because I was trying to recoup the money that I had spent.
There you go.
Well, I think, you know, $1,000 is real tangible. Just the number itself, $1,000. Like, it's one thing if maybe over time you earned $1,000, or maybe you get a check for $486. You know, just $1,000 seems like a lot. Like $1,000 is maybe a good chunk of your mortgage. You know, $1,000 might be like all your car payments wiped out for that month. I mean, adding $1,000 is it's really relieving quite a bit from just your monthly expenses. So for me, $1,000 meant this is real
Back
tangible.
then, yeah.
This is real tangible. This is not just kind of little play money. This is not like beer money or
Yeah.
hey, we can go out tonight for a nice dinner money. $1,000 like really changes your current lifestyle or your current financial obligations.
Mm.
So
And now 3250.
yeah, I mean now it just made the whole thing more tangible to me. It made it real. It made me realize like, wow, okay, this is legit. This is real, and this is significant. This actually changed the game for us and what we're doing.
And you
So,
like,
so tonight was called How She Retired You from Your Corporate Job. So going from the 9 to 5 grind to this lifestyle that you guys get to live, just share with everybody like the reality of like how freaking amazing this is. I mean, look at us. We're chilling in t-shirts tonight. We're not in like business suits. We don't
I
have to
have my
go through the
PJs on.
yeah, we don't have to go through freaking traffic and worry about crashing and all that nonsense that people have to deal with. Just like you know the full reality of it. Like just share a little bit of that.
It changed everything for us. It absolutely changed everything. Just the freedom that we have now to do things
Like
that we used to
yesterday.
not be able to do. Yeah, yesterday we just chilled out all day with the kids and the dogs because we wanted to. It gives us the ability to now. I mean, mind you, we work very hard at this. We take this very seriously. We work very hard, but it gives us the option to just chill out for several days if we choose to. Right? It gives us the option to not just go somewhere for the weekend, but stretch it out. Where a long weekend, a Thursday, you know, into a Tuesday, we can do that because I don't have to be back on Monday like I used to. You know, when I was in corporate America, I don't have to. You know, one of the things that really started to annoy me is that Michelle had all this time in the world, and it'd be like halfway through the year, and I'm already like out of vacation time at my corporate job. And like now I gotta like make up like these strange ailments that I've got and like random like diseases that I have, so I could like somehow use parlay my sick time into vacation time. This crazy stuff. And now,
Now here's something that happens to us all the time. We go to St. Lucia every year, and it invariably always happens. We don't book it long enough, and we're like, oh, well, we don't need to go back yet. Let's just stay a couple more days. We got our computer here. We can just work from the ocean, and that's the freedom that you really get to enjoy. And I love that. I love just not having that pressure of getting back somewhere because we have to be there for work.
Right.
That's awesome.
Everything. And for me, it really it reduced the amount of stress. I used to carry a lot of stress because there were these, work drama
Reports.
And work things and TPS reports due, and what does this client think about that, and what is my boss's reaction going to be, and what about my boss's reaction, what's his reaction going to be. And there's a lot of these things that were ultimately somewhat out of my control but would still really impact me either positively or negatively, and it added a lot of stress to my life. Just even the commute, just the morning commute was stressful, and so now I realize that I still work as hard, if not harder. I take this more seriously than I took my corporate job because it's more specific to us and what we're building and growing. But the levels of stress are just so ridiculously reduced from back when I was in corporate.
Hey,
That's awesome. Yeah, this
He's got to go get the oldest child.
Obviously, we don't have that much time freedom, so I got to leave and pick up one of our girls.
Hey, at least it's not for work, and it's all about family. That's what it's all about. So that's good.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks for popping in. Rhonda Swan just popped on with us. We had her come in the middle.
Popping on you guys.
Oh, you're good. You're good. So Rhonda just came into GRN not that long ago. It was only about a month and a half ago, and she's been doing really, really well with it. She was already in another awesome high-ticket company. Now she came over to this one. Rhonda, just going off of that corporate to this kind of lifestyle, you and Brian, you guys both lived that lifestyle. You had the corporate 9-to-5 grind. You had all that nonsense. Like, I guess let's just spin off of that. Share, the lifestyle. It's freedom, really, at the end of the day. It's being able to have freedom in our lives. Just share a little bit of that. Is Brian around you too at all?
He is. He actually was really cool because seeing Bill walk in, it was like, oh my gosh, because Michelle and Bill's story is so similar to ours. Look at he's working tough. He's having a difficult work night, and that's really. I love it. And this is what I so much love about being part of this community, is that everyone is really so connected. You keep bringing up Mark so often, Michelle, and I tell you, we didn't really get to meet Mark until just last year, and I wish I would have met Mark 8.5 years ago when I started in this industry, because so many things happen rapidly. I'm talking quickly when you're connected to the right people, and for us, it was 8.5 years ago that I did the same thing. And I love Michelle's story because I remember watching you, Michelle, on stage at No Excuses last year. And I was like, oh, I love when you have something that's so solid, something that you can rely on, and people that are part of a family. I never have been part of, a smaller type ticket business or a place that, you're just hustling people. This is about lives. And I remember listening to your story, Michelle, on stage. You're talking about your girls and where you were like, oh, I just have to get this figured out. And you did it. And those stories are so real. I mean, they happened to my family as well. But what happens is that I get to see through you what you did, the reality, what I did as well, to go, okay, it's not just me. This can really be an opportunity for everyone. And I just love it. And to be part of this community recently, literally, I mean, I don't even think it's, maybe a month and a half ago, because we gravitated right towards the right people. And to me, that's the most important piece, is to be around the right people, the ones that really do care about your life, that, you can touch them, you can feel them. Like, we can call Mark. We really can call Mark, and he'll call us, And that means so much to me, because I can't be part of something that's not, I can't see that people's lives are going to change. I have to know that it can really happen for them. So, yeah, it's really awesome to be here.
I mean, when you have that's a good one. When you have a sale in another company that's like you know, most companies about $150 auto shipment. You make, I don't know, maybe like 30 bucks or something. When you have a sale, then it's like, okay, that's cool. But this is like when you have a sale on Global Resorts Network, it's like, crap, this can change. I mean, that was a mortgage payment, car payment, like Bill was saying. That's like so many different things. It's not like Bill was saying. Bill was like bringing up a lot of awesome stuff. Like it's not going out to, you know, have a little dinner or on the side or whatever. It's not just getting a, you know, pack of beer or whatever, like he said in his video on your thing on the blog. It's just, it's crazy what the shift that takes place, and it's even crazy the shift that takes place when you buy it. So like I gotta get and talk about this here in a second. But when you buy a package that, for example, my favorite one is the 5,000, just because it's anybody should be able to go find that money, right? And when you buy that, something happens in your life. Okay, so like dogs in hell, like there's like some kind of shift. It's like you dig down deeper than you ever knew possible to go out there and get that money back as fast as possible. And that's what I loved about when I actually got this package. It was like, oh my God, did I just spend that money? And then I was like, all right, I got to go get this done. So that's when I just went crazy and, you know, made a whole bunch of sales. And that's what happened with Michelle, is she went crazy and made a whole bunch of sales, got her investment back really fast as well. And now it's just like profit, profit, profit craziness.
Well, you know what I think it is, Vincent and Michelle, you're doing this as a long time as well, is that I see when people actually go, it's decision, right? Because decision puts us in motion. And when you make that decision, it does change. And all of a sudden you're focused, you're on purpose. You're excited. Yeah, you're actually doing something. So when people are like, oh, you know, a lot of people are waiting, sitting, looking. I mean, I've talked to people that are looking. Like, when are you going to stop looking? Because the day that you stop looking and just go is actually when things will happen for you. And it really, it's about that decision. And once you do it, it's like, that's why those things happen. People,
when the energy, when you get excited, when you finally make the decision, you feel good about it and you make it, the energy, you know, pours out of you, and people see that. Like, people sense that excitement, and that's where they want to be. That's where they want to work, you know, with people that are going places. And, you know, that it's just, I know that when I signed and I was working, you know, a lot of people, I have the type of personality, and I've talked about this before in a video, but, you know, if you're working, like for me, I was desperate. I made that decision to join. I was working out of desperation, or hell or high water, I was going to make some sales. So that pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I got uncomfortable. I did things I didn't want to do, but that's where the sales came from. You know, and some people, when they get desperate, they shut down. You know, and you've got to be the type of person that when you are pushed against the wall, your back's against the wall, that you can have the faith that you can bust out of it and create, you know, that abundance and that success. And that's what I did, you know, in that situation. I didn't like freak out and was like, oh my God, I'm never going to make any sales. That wasn't even in my mind. What was in my mind was, where am I going to get this sale? I'm going to talk to 1 million people till I make it happen. You know, and it's like digging for treasure somewhere. I didn't stop till I found it.
Well, you know, and absolutely, Michelle, and this is what's so great, that people are listening like, oh, I might be that way. But the best part is the way it's working now is you have all of us. You guys are talking tonight about leverage. I was like, oh my gosh, the difference. It's like, okay, invite people here to be part of this group. It's so much easier now, because you're not having to hustle like we used to have to, and communicate and call people all the time. You can literally say, hey, you got to come and take a look and listen to this story. I mean, I invited people here tonight, like, you got to hear this girl's story. It's amazing. And people will show up and they'll decide that this is right for them or not. But that's what I love more about it, is that when they have a support system and a support team and people like us that are here to make it happen for them.
Yeah.
Amen. All right, so let me go over this. So yeah, Michelle, we were talking about this earlier. She thought she could magically get me off a webinar in 15 minutes.
Never with this guy.
Not gonna happen. All right, so let me go over what we've been talking about all night. Because at the end of the day, we could talk here, but you need to have what we have so you can actually create this kind of income in your life. So you're gonna see two different options down here. All right, so you're gonna see the Global Resorts. Well, here's the video you're watching right here on the top of this page. Okay. Now, I just want you guys to remember, I always tell people, don't think of this as a customer, okay? Like, when you come here and you think you're buying something, Think of what's going to happen after you buy and how this system is set up and how you can introduce people to this, okay? So all they did tonight, all anybody did tonight to get you here was send you an affiliate link, which is tracking the sale to them. So you're watching this thing, and now after you watch this, you'll go down here. You can check out Michelle's story by clicking on this link right here, and you can go open a blog post and read all about it. Or you can come down here if you've already done that, and you can click on one of these two options. You see the GRN Discovery membership and the Global Resorts Network membership. Now the main one, the reason why we're on here tonight and the reason that we're making all this great income on one single sale is because we have the Global Resorts Network membership, the one over here on the right side. When you click on that, you're going to open up a new window. You're going to get to learn about Hoverson. He's kind of like a legend now. We keep talking about him like he's everything, and he is. You're going to get to learn about his little story right there, and then down here you get to see an awesome video about the savings and the travel savings that you get to have when you become a network or become a member of the Global Resorts Network. All right, and then down here you'll be able to watch another little webby, or you can come down here and click Get Access Now. Once you click on that button, you're going to get to choose the memberships. Okay, so there's 3 different memberships at the end of the day. All right, and we'll go over those here in a second. But what I want to do is first show you just a couple examples of the value that you get when you become part of Global Resorts Network. Okay, so now what you want to do down here is you might want to follow along, or you can just watch on the screen. Either click on Michelle's image right here, or click down here where it says click the full story. That will open up an awesome blog, as you can see right here. And by the way, you actually get to have this blog that you're looking at on here when you sign up for Global Resorts Network. You get this done for you, okay? If you wanted to go get something done like this, you're going to pay thousands of dollars, literally, and you're going to waste a ton of time. You're going to actually get one of these to leverage for you. Okay, so what you're going to want to do if you want to actually look at some of these images close with me, when you land on that page, you're going to click on this button right here. It's called GRN Savings, okay? Once you click on that, you'll get to see a couple different examples down here. It's just a blog roll of examples. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and click on this top one right here. Once you click on that, you'll come right here to this picture right here, and you can actually click on it one more time if you want to open it up. But here's a good example of the savings that you get. So this is the Cabo Villas Beach Resort and Spa, all right? And it's the exact same date, exact same time, everything. This is the Expedia price versus the GRN price. You can see you can get the full week for $398 out here in this beautiful resort. If you were to pay anywhere else, and it was the exact same, I just want you to remember, exact same time, exact same date, 7 nights, $2,274 right here. That's 82.5% off Expedia. That's the exact same everything. Okay, and what's good about having this blog right here is you are gonna, I just want you to remember, don't think of it as a customer and watching this and, you know, as a customer mentality. Remember, you are going to get this blog right here, this exact looking thing with these exact same examples. So if I'll just go back up here to the savings again, let me go to a really cool recent one right here for you guys with Mark Hoverson and his family. Right here, the Global Resorts Network savings right here. So here's 63% off. This is about as low of a savings that you'll ever get, but I just want to show you this. It's really cool. They just went last year, it just was in March right here of this year, and it was $799 for the entire week, all right? If you would have got that anywhere else on Expedia, which is everybody says that's the best price you can get, $2,173. Mark said it perfectly. It's like getting $1,374 in free money to spend on the trip. All right, if they wanted to go to that nice of a place, they would have paid that much. So I just want you to remember, this is for 7 nights. It's absolutely crazy. So like I said, if you want to go over all these examples, just go to this GRN Savings tab right here, and you can check out all these really, really awesome examples. Okay, now just remember, like I always want you to remember, that this can be yours as well when you become a GRN member. You're going to actually have this blog. People will be able to come to your very own personal blog, and they'll be able to opt in right here on the side as well, so you'll be able to build an email list and things like that, because mostly you guys have probably got here from an email list and things like that as well. So you'll be able to do that. Now you can also check out GRN Leaders over here. It's the stories of all our different stories of how literally Global Resorts Network changed our entire lives. I mean, here's some of just the top examples on this tab that you can check out as well. So you can go, I mean, we got videos on there and all kinds of good stuff. So that's what I want to do. I just want to show you real quick. The GRN savings are insane. I mean, let me just show you one more. Let's give you a crazy one right here. So here's 90.3% off Expedia's best price right here. So this is out at the Wyndham Ocean Walk Resort right here. As you can see, it's a beautiful backdrop right off the beach. If you were to get for 7 nights, exact same dates, exact same everything, it would have been $2,721. If you use our GRN membership, you would have only paid $599 for that entire week. Okay, so it's absolutely, I mean, the reason, you're going to find out on the reason as to why if you go to the actual presentation, okay? And you can actually watch up here a little bit too. Actually, let me show you real fast. Now, never mind. That doesn't get into it. The reason why we get to have this amazing savings is because we have the people, okay? So at the end of the day, they don't have to advertise, okay? So the travel provider you use doesn't have to go out there and spend a lot of money on advertising. We are the people that they go to. So at the end of the day, they don't have to go pay Expedia thousands of dollars. They don't got to pay media thousands of dollars. At the end of the day, after they spend all that money to even get people into these resorts and all those places, they only end up making about the money that we're paying them anyways. So that's the reason why. A lot of people think, well, this is just maybe, what is it, just like last things, or like it's just the dates that people just never want and all that. It's not like that. It's just for the fact that our provider says, here, I'm going to give you all these people, okay, as long as you only charge them this price. And the most you'll ever pay is $799 for an entire week, okay? You'll get tons of different places all over the world for about $400 a week, and that's what we're going to talk about here in a second. So let me go back to my screen really fast, and let me go to my screen share. Okay,
I just want people also to know how powerful, I mean, that website is. I mean, to be able to have that already branded, you know, to solve that problem that I had early on where I was trying to create my own stuff. I mean, do you know that most of my sales come from blog posts? I mean, honestly, videos and blog posts. So to be able to have that already done for you in your hands is a powerful, powerful tool, and increases your chances so much more than what they would have been before to make those sales. Because to have stories, I mean, stories sell. I mean, they do. And to be able to see those stories and to be able to add your stories to it, or to add your own experiences, or to add a blog post to where you're talking about what you like about GRN, or maybe you do go on a vacation using the GRN membership and you can share your own testimonial on there. That is so powerful. And those are, I mean, I'm serious, that is how people most of the time come to me and want to buy Global Resorts, is through a video I made or through a blog post I wrote. And so to be able to hand that over, I mean, that is amazing that, you know, we have this put together. That's what I get so excited about, that we have this now to be able to leverage.
Yeah, because it used to be where you get the amazing travel provider and you had to, like we were talking about earlier, go out there and try to figure out how to make a website, make some capture pages, and create a little funnel and all that. Now it's just like you're ready to go as soon as you get started. That's the beautiful
just
part.
Share
about
it.
Yeah, and so over here, Miss Rhonda, she knows what it's all about as far as blogs go. Just give your thing, you know, just the setup that they get. Just give your little background on it, because she's been in the industry for 8 years. She knows the deal. Like, you have to have this if you want to be successful.
No, as far as the blog's concerned, you mean?
Just the way that they get set up almost instantaneously.
Yeah, because when you come in, guys, I mean, think about it. When you walk in, you know, you want to have something that really creates your presence. I'm all about branding and just making sure that you have presence. And I've never seen a company really that gives you this type of presence where you can instantly come in and you're branded with GRN, but then all you have to do is literally start sharing your story. And that's really powerful because, like you mentioned, Michelle, if you do a blog post or you do your own video, certainly people want to see that you've done it. But what we've done, or at least GRN has done, and Vincent has really helped create this, is that you're able to leverage our stories. If you notice, on all of the GRN new blogs, Michelle's story is there, Vincent's is there, mine is there, Brenda's is there, Crystal Curtis is there. People that have been part of this program, have utilized it, and have shared successes. It's all about leverage, and it's there ready for you. So people are like, wow, what did those people do? And they're locked to you because, you know, it's all we connect them directly to you. So it's a really great, I think it's just like the most perfect combination that you can ask for.
Right.
For sure. Okay, so back to this really quick. All right, so this is the blog that you do get when you get set up. As you can see up here on the top left, your photo will actually go there. Okay, so we literally just launched this like a couple weeks ago, and we're just now finishing. So last night I had, let's see, I think I had, oh, I'm logged in, so we're not going to get to see hers. All right, well, I was going to show you Ashley's. It's really cool. But yeah, so when you get, it's literally, this process is crazy. So when we're live, and we're going to be live, like for those of you guys who are existing GRNers, we are ready. All I'm doing is back here, putting together, here's the new little membership area that I created. I'm putting together discovery blog training right here as well.
Nice.
So this wasn't even created until like the last couple of days, which is, it's been madness. I've been up 24/7 creating this stuff. So it's been really, really fun. And now everybody's going to have like marketing training, all kinds of amazing training. And then here's some other stuff real quick before I get into what Global Resorts pricing is and all that. Right here under the Hoverson training, he's giving away several of his amazing trainings that he's sold, multiple $million worth of this stuff. So you're going to actually get, so we've been talking about Hoverson all night, you know, all night, about his wisdom and his knowledge and all the good stuff. So you're going to get 3 of his very, very, very best things back here, okay? Now let me just go over real quick because I feel like I keep going away from it, is the actual membership. Okay, so right here you guys are watching again, okay, where we're talking. Scroll on down and go right here to the Global Resorts Network membership, okay? Click on this little card right here. Once you open that up, just go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of that page right there. And it's going to say Get Instant Access Now. Boom, click on that. And then here's your 3 different membership levels. Okay, so you're going to have a Silver, a Platinum, and you're going to have a Platinum Plus. Okay, now what a Silver does, let me bust out my pen real quick. All right. Come on down. Oh, I got to get off this page. Okay. Come on. There you are. Okay, so the first membership level is a Silver. Okay, so a Silver costs you $2,000. Okay, and that's going to give you, okay, and that's going to give you 2 weeks of travel per year of these amazing prices that we've been talking about. 2 weeks of travel per year, it resets every single year. $2,000 one-time payment, no monthly hidden fees, no monthly nothing, no annual nothing. $2,000 one time. This is going to pay the affiliate, you, for referring people here, $1,000 on one freaking sale. I just want you guys to remember that. That's not multiple sales like most companies. That's one sale. They're giving you $1,000 on that $2,000 sale. That gives you 2 weeks of amazing travel every single year, and it resets every single year, and it's a lifetime membership. Now the next level is a Platinum. All right, and that's going to cost you $5,000. Now this is the minimum that I always recommend people to get in, because $1,000 is a mortgage payment and a lot of crazy things when you do make these sales on it. But when you're making what I'm about to show you, this Platinum, you make $3,250 per sale. Okay, that's like 3 months of mortgage payments for most people in America, or even more than that. You know, it's just crazy. So the Platinum gives you 10 weeks of travel per year. Okay, and like I said, it resets every year. There's no monthly fees, no nothing. That's why this product's also a lot easier of a sale, because people don't have to get into a monthly commitment. You know, it's a one and done situation. It's, you know, a lot of people do end up buying these things thinking they're going to pay $5K again next year. That's the funny thing. They don't realize that they're going to get it for the rest of their life. That's the coolest part. All right, so the next one is the Platinum Plus, and that's what both Michelle and Rhonda have, and that is the $12,500. Okay, and that pays them $7,700 on one single sale. Just imagine in your life right now, close your eyes and imagine, seriously, $7,700 in one freaking transaction. I mean, what can you do with that? So now you got $7,700 and you barely have to pay to go on vacation. I mean, you can go have the freaking vacation of your life.
You could pay off credit card debt, or pay off your car, maybe.
It's just crazy. It's crazy money. So Michelle, actually, you made one of those sales not that long ago.
Yeah.
What was, I mean, I'm honestly only at the Platinum level. I don't know why I'm not here yet. But what was, I don't even want to, like, what was $7,700 in one sale like? That's crazy.
It was crazy. He's somebody that actually I've grown to just adore, as far as, you know, building a relationship with him. He just went all in, and, you know, he might be on here, I'm not sure, but, you know, he's definitely somebody that went all in. He contacted me because watched a video, and he contacted me and just kind of wanted to know about our business and how we are so successful. And he, you know, joined, you know, one of our companies that we have, and then also just saw the value in a low ticket and a high ticket. He saw the value in it, and he was in a position where he's like, look, I've got this much money. I'm not working right now. I want to invest in myself, invest in my business, and I want to run with it. And that's exactly what he did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Platinum Plus gives you 20 weeks per year to travel all over the freaking world. Okay, so 20 weeks is awesome. I mean, shoot, when you're popping Platinum Plus, you can travel 20 weeks all over the freaking world. It's awesome.
You know what's cool that I was just thinking about for those of you that may be, and I'm not knocking, MLM, I'm in it, but, if you think about it, when you invest $2,000, I mean, do the math on what you're spending on auto ship each month.
Mm-hmm.
Multiply that by 12, and there's your, even if you just came in at 2,000, I mean, there's your membership right there to unlock the door to making 1K commissions. I mean, how long does it take you to make $1,000 in your MLM right now, for those of you that happen to be in one? I always like to ask that sometimes, because I view that as your long-term residual income, because it takes a long time to build good money in a network marketing company. I mean, I speak the truth, when it comes to that. It really does. It takes a lot of work. Long-term, you need duplication, and sometimes it may never happen, but for global resorts, man, I mean, you just take what you spend in auto ship, multiply that by 12. I bet you've got that right there.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's true. I mean, Michelle, think about it. I've never really been part of any smaller ticket because of that reason. I left corporate. I was making a lot of money. I'm like, I have to find a way to make big ticket money, connect with good people, and you work with such a great level of people that you're really connected to them. And yeah, making 1,000, 3,250, and 77 is not a bad profit when you're only dealing with, maybe a quarter, not even a quarter. Like, what percentage of person that you're dealing with that you may deal with in, an MLM that's selling a lower ticket profit. I love it so much because of that reason. I can talk to less people, and then I can hang out with this little girl all the time.
That's awesome. That brought up something in my mind when you were talking about that with the MLM thing. So when, say for example, you're in an MLM and you're thinking about another one, those people just like, it's like a battle. But with Global Resorts Network, you can stay in your MLM and be happy with it and just utilize this as that back end amazing product, because you can bring in all kinds of customers with that lower ticket, those $150, commission, or those $150 auto ships and all that stuff. So you start building your customer base fine with that lower ticket stuff. And then, bam, you got this amazing, valuable travel membership. So you're like, here, I'm going to help this person build some money in here. And then, boom, let's go rock the world together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what's cool about this. It's not a company where we're telling you, man, get out of what you're in right now and get in this. It's not like that. This is just like, add to your repertoire. Like add to that thing, because I always talk about you got to have a nice, smaller end type of situation where you can just acquire some customers, right? And that's what we all do. We just acquire customers in our different things that we do. And then it's like, here, come check out this amazing, valuable tool that I have that really has just skyrocketed my income. You know?
Big money up front. It's not. And again, it's almost like, you're buying a great membership, and you're also investing in yourself because of the value you're going to get by partnering up with the people in this community. It truly is. I mean, that is an investment in yourself, not necessarily. A lot of people look at this as, oh, I'm buying this membership, I don't have the money. You've got to invest in yourself. You've got to invest in your business, and it is a game changer to be able to work with this group.
No, it's true. I mean, guys, I started in 2005. I've only been with 2 companies, and I was really looking for a place that I could be confident that I knew the people I was working with, and that's a big deal. And knowing that Mark is behind it, Mark's got such an incredible, background and history and experience, and the group that GRN attracts is really a powerful group of people, and it's transparency, and we talk about this a lot. It's about the transparency, because we are right in front of you. There's no hiding. This is who we are, and I was really attracted to that because of the people, the quality of person, but truly just the experience that I know that I can have and that others can be part of as well. And it's a big deal when you're looking and you're choosing. I talk to so many people. I know you guys both do the same. They're like, I just want to make sure this is real, that someone's going to be there. That whole thing. And
See, because a lot of people are like, man, this is like, I know that the way that we're setting this up now, it's like, wow, this is just almost too easy. Is this real? It's like, that's what's cool about it. So it's just really, it's been a really good transition here. So let me go Go ahead. Did you want to say
No,
something?
I mean, I just hope that, everybody that's here is a guest, that somebody had brought on here as a guest. I mean, first I know we're still going, but I want to thank you. I mean, because I hope that you're hearing us and understanding us and know that we're real. I know that this is real and this is a game changer for you, and it's something you should really do and consider. Okay, consider, then do. Because, it can definitely change your life, and you heard Bill talk about it. So exactly. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
It's all good. Okay, so we just talked about, this is a good, I forgot about this, that we created this because I'm thinking about all these huge commissions, but right down here next to the Global Resorts Network membership is you see the GRN Discovery membership. Now we talked about the lower ticket, bringing customers in, all that good stuff, because sometimes at the end of the day there is people that just don't have the money. Like they've already maybe borrowed a few $1,000s, like literally the day before you showed them this. So what we've created is the GRN Discovery membership. Now, if you click on that, it's going to open up a Google document, and it's going to give you some good overview of exactly what you're going to get when you get just the GRN Discovery. Okay, the GRN Discovery is $197, but what you do is essentially you're getting set up to make your platinum sales, or what we call it. And so to make any kind of sale in GRN, we set you up so you can at least get your blog, you can get your presence started, and all that good stuff. You can get inside the membership area, get some good training, and you can just get ready to go. Okay, so it's a one-time payment of $197, and it's $14.95 a month for your hosting of your blog and just all the training that's in there and all the good stuff. Okay, then you can read over a little bit about what you get, how you can actually still make some money on the GRN Discovery or the GRN sales as well. So when you do have the GRN Discovery, and say for example you sold a Platinum or Platinum Plus or a Silver, you still make $250 on those sales. Okay, now to be honest, I've just never really seen anybody sell any of these until they actually upgraded. But what we're doing is we're getting your presence going at least, okay, until you can create the income to buy the membership. All right, so what you do on this GRN Discovery membership, as you can see right here, you also make $75 on the sale. So we're going to get you in, we're going to get you a GRN Discovery blog like you just saw, and you can check out, you can kind of feel it around by clicking below the video. But you're going to be able to create some income from it as well, so you can start to see the value of what's going to happen. Okay, so at the end of the day, at least we created something where you can get a part of this community, get part of the Facebook family, and you can read all the good details down here as well. So as you can see on this, it gives you a little cool infographic on all the neat things that you get. Okay, so down here,
those who are hesitant that just need to dip their toe in the water to see the truth, that's what that's for.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, when you get that, it's $197, and you get a $75 commission off of that, and you get this. Like I said, you can click on Michelle's image right here, and you'll land on the blog that you actually get. Okay, and you get your face. You can put your face up here and all that good stuff. It's pretty, as much as it can be. It'll be branded yourself as soon as you throw your face on there, and then we also show you how to add your own blog posts, because what it features is, in the beginning, it'll feature some awesome leaders, and you automatically get all of these blogs. Okay, so as you can see, the story you watched or you saw tonight, Michelle's story, it's on there, so you get to read about that. Okay, and then we got Brenda, and we got Rhonda, who's on here, and we got Crystal, and we got Amanda. She's done amazing. She sold, I forget what she's done. It's been some crazy amounts of money as well. And then you get to see the Global Resorts presentation. You get to see some examples. So you get these will be your own blogs. So when people check this out, and you even get to have Mark's video that he paid like 20 grand to have created, that will be automatically on your blog. And then you also learn how to create your own self an email list as well, so you can start following up with your leads. And at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. We have people that have been following us for years, and they'll finally buy the product. But if we didn't have an email list to have them, keep coming back and seeing that we're leaders and we're not leaving, we would have never known. They wouldn't have heard of our name again if we didn't start capturing their emails. So you got to start capturing your emails. All right, and then all this really does is it redirects. You'll see you can redirect it to wherever you want. But what we recommend is you just redirect it right back here to, boom, the presentation you're watching right now, or you can bring them to another presentation that we've done prior. It just depends whatever one you want. So, you're done. You don't have to go figure out how to do this and figure out how to set anything up anymore. It's done. Like, you're ready to go. There's no more guessing. And then back here in this GRN Discovery membership, wherever I put it, right here in the membership area, you're going to get all kinds of cool stuff. You're going to get to see our weekly winners. We have contests. You'll get some marketing training. You'll get to have all the webinars that we do that are, you know, behind the scenes that, you know, you guys don't get to see. And then right here on the Discovery blog, you're going to have some training tutorials on how to actually add your own blog posts and how to set up your own opt-in thing so you can have, you know, people, you know, capture leads into yourself. And then we also have it set up too on this blog where you can just literally, if you don't want to learn all the stuff, you know, that we totally recommend, you can put your affiliate links back here and the company will follow up for you and you'll make the sales on those follow-ups. So it's really
you
cool.
know, Vince, one thing that you brushed over is that we talked about so much is Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, just by being even part of Discovery, of course, everyone gets the whole Discovery training in the program if you buy Silver or Platinum, Platinum Plus. But even if you guys just buy the Discovery program, you actually get all that training from Mark. Yeah. I mean, we couldn't even talk enough about Mark. How he's changed our lives.
Go ahead.
No, it's good. I'm just like, wow, that's so huge. The fact that we can even spend $197, get a blog, promote, and get just the information that we've all learned from Mark that has made us hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's amazing.
Yeah,
there's a training back there that's just freaking off the charts that he has included back there that, you know, you can handle any objection, any, you know, I guess just objection that comes your way. And I think that's one of the biggest struggles when people are trying to talk to people on the phone or overcoming these objections. And, you know, he is the master at it. I mean, I know when I first started out, I would get certain objections, and it's all about posture, but I didn't have that when I first started out, or how to really address certain, like, oh, I don't have the money to join. I mean, he covers how to address that. In a very good way that creates, you still have control of the conversation, you still have the posture, and you're almost coaching that person into a position to where they figure out how to get that money. I mean, it's phenomenal training.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this training back here is literally, I mean, when you get all this done for you, but then you take your actual leadership level to a different place, that's when you start becoming on these webinars right here, and people start leveraging you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the next level. Because at the end of the day, we set it up to where you don't have to, like, because Eric Worre is amazing. He said your income will be equal to the amount of value you give to the world, not really the products you sell, okay, at the end of the day. So that is so true. Like, Michelle's value that she gives to the world, it's huge. She's constantly giving value. She's not always selling stuff, you know. Same with Rhonda. She's teaching people how to brand themselves online, you know. So, like, we internally become leaders first before we become really amazing at the sales that we do. But we're trying to create it to where you can get in, you can at least get the discovery, bring people to our webinar so you can start feeling what it's like to make this digital money. This digital money, I mean, it is crazy. When you don't have to literally go out there and grind to make an income come in your life, where you can sit behind a computer and just chill and relax in a freaking t-shirt and just hang with some of your favorite people in the world. I mean, it is such a dream life. Like, it's almost like it shouldn't even be fair. You know, it's so amazing what happens when you just get in this community and just really start to see it. So that's why we created the Discovery, so you can at least get in, get your feet wet, you know, make some commissions for other people you bring in on the $197 product, and just really everybody level up together, which is really, really neat. Plus, get the blog. I mean, you can do anything you want with the blog. You don't have to promote only GRM with the blog. You can promote whatever you want. It just can be your house, you know what I mean? Because everybody goes out and buys houses, you know, on this world. And so at the end of the day, you can put inside of that house whatever you want, right? So you can do what you want with the systems and tools that we set up for it. It's just Global Resorts Network is obviously an easy sale, you know, and you can put your own MLMs on there. You can put your own direct sales businesses that you're in right now on there as well. So it's just anything and everything you'd ever want. It's all there is to it, you know. So ask some questions down below too while we're going. As you can see below this video, there's some questions, a question and answer deal right there. As you can see, we got 261 people still rolling with us.
Nice.
But go ahead and just ask some questions down there. I don't know if, let's see if we've got a few down here.
Yeah, I can't get my page to scroll, so.
You gotta get that internet thing going.
Yeah, I think I'm running out of memory on my computer, possibly.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
Maybe. Oh, now I'm scrolling.
Let's see. We got some good stuff. We got we're talking about Mark's training. Great hangout. Yes, we're in the light. All right, so make sure you guys, these comments will come just a little bit after I ask it because this is about 5-second delay. So make sure you ask some questions. People are saying their mind's blowing. This is good
Well,
stuff.
you know, I had a girl today that sent me a message, and she bought Discovery last week or a week and a half ago, and she's like, I cannot believe that I just paid $197 for this, what I just learned, and which is even greater because now she feels so much more confident. And I think that's what I really like about what we're doing now is you allow people to get really confident about, you know, what they can offer, you know, but in the end of the day, it's like, what do you really want to do? I always look at, you know, the example of when people say, I'm not really sure, I don't have the money. I always look at it this way, you know, when I was in a corporate job, if I had a business meeting that I had to be at, or that I had to, you know, pay to get, let's say, my car tires fixed, right? I had to get those tires fixed. I would never, ever go without saying, oh, I'm going to just let my car sit there. So if someone's looking to fix their life, how the heck are you going to let your life sit there with no tires on it? You're going to find a way to fix the car. And that's what I love the most about when people really get clear as to really what they want to do with their life. There's such great vehicles to get that done, and you're not going to let your life sit there. You're not going to let your car sit there. You're going to actually fix it, because if you got a job, you got to get to work. But this is like your life. So why would you let your car sit there or your life sit there without having great tires to get to where you want to go? And whenever I think of it that way, I'm like, gosh, you know, it may feel weird now, but just make this happen, because it's the reality is so close.
Before I forget, that was amazing, actually. I've never heard you say that. You always amaze me. Okay, so right here, we are all going to No Excuses together. Okay, Michelle, aren't you both speaking at No Excuses?
Not this year. Michelle is. It's all her.
Nice.
It's all about Michelle this year.
So No Excuses is May 17th through the 20-something. Okay, so all of us, you know, all three of us, and anybody who's anybody in GRN who wants to take their business to the next level is going to be at this event. Why don't you explain the event real quick? Actually, let me show just some real quick power of it real fast, and then I'm going to have you explain it a little bit, Michelle, because Rhonda explained it on the last one, so I want to get it from your end of this perspective as well.
Leaders in the home business industry gather at an oasis in the desert for a summit that attracts thousands. Newbies, leaders, and veterans alike have left with their businesses and lives transformed. More will gather this spring in search of inspiration, motivation, and the knowledge required to earn their financial freedom. You are cordially invited to attend, and there will be no excuses.
How many of you would like to make a 7-figure annual income in this industry?
All of you came here to increase your value.
You're in a networking business. You're in the business of networking with other human beings. People you're going to meet here are just amazing. Meeting industry legends like Mike Gillard and Brian Fernally and just a whole host of people.
We have mixers, and after that we'll be hanging out at the bars till like 5 a.m. like we did last night, because people just can't get enough.
Network with us. Talk to us. Our friends.
There are countless people out there waiting to follow you as soon as you figure out who you are.
You can't do this just for the money. You gotta have your heart in it.
If you're passionate, if you're going somewhere, people are going to grab onto your coattails and they're going to follow you because you're passionate.
You never know where the industry is going to take you. And had I quit, the lives that would have been affected would be unbelievable.
I sat in that audience. I said, you know what? I'm going to be up on stage next year. I said that. I'm going to be there. And so, dream it. You can do it.
Every single speaker had so much value that was relevant.
One thing that I've always had is a bunch of excuses.
You got to quit making the excuses and just simply come out, because it is definitely worth your time and the money to be in a place like this.
Now you're in a place of power because you have all the information and all you need to do is make a choice. How many of you are going to reach your goals and live the dream?
I need that person.
That's our company co-founder. I'm sure you're in here too as well, Michelle. It's somewhere in there.
No, you're showing the wrong video. You showed
that's an old one.
That was really old.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you showed the old one.
That's all right. There's some good legends in there.
That's the event that Mark spoke on stage, you know, used me as that case study on stage. And I was a spectator in the audience, and Bill was the guy who just came with me, the husband, to show up, and because it was Vegas. And was sold after meeting everybody in this industry, and it was life-changing. I mean, that event, I think about the little moments in my life, throughout this career, even though it's only been 3 years, there's little, like, things, markers, is like I call them, that have just been the pivotal points in our career that have just changed it so much. And, no excuses. It's a no pitch from stage, event. It's pure value. I know that as a speaker, this will be my 2nd year speaking on stage there. They are very strict on what they want us to do. For me, I'm actually covering all the pillars because I'm doing Facebook, and it's all value driven. They're like 5 minutes on your story. That's it, and they're like all value, which I personally love because I'm not a great, I know you said, Rhonda, you love hearing the story, but I'm not great at telling my story. I feel like if I have a weakness, it's there. And, people tell me I'm crazy sometimes when I say that, but it's a struggle. I'm a teacher by heart. I love to deliver value, and this is one of my favorite events to go to. I think that, God, I can't even think of everybody. I know Ray Higdon will be there, Tim Irway, speaking. Gosh, I'm so bad. Eric Ori, you mentioned him. Right?
Yeah.
It is just, it's amazing. And you guys, and I know you want to finish that up, Vincent, about what we're going at. I don't know what all you want me to tell you about the event, but it's pure value. I mean, I've never been to an event like this, and just the after parties, and being able to hang out with the GRN family there, which I know you're going to get into because we've got a special event on Friday that we're going to be doing. In fact, depending on how many people are there, we actually got the penthouse for the weekend. So maybe y'all can all sneak up there. Hey,
nice, that's awesome. Crystal in the house.
Yeah.
You're muted, Crystal. You gotta unmute yourself on the top right. So let me just finish that thought, though. Yeah, anybody who's in GRN, Mark Hoverson's throwing a little side party on Friday night, just kind of to bring everybody in this community together, just to have some fun, throw some pictures together. And I was talking about in the last webinar, FaceTime means everything. If you're at an event, right, and you take pictures with leaders in the industry or anybody, because we're not afraid to take pictures with anybody. So if you just take pictures with people who are doing things, and people see that on your Facebook pages, on your emails that maybe you send out, that completely flips a switch. That like takes you from just like another person that's with them in this, thing trying to make it, to like, oh, they really want to be somebody. And so people just sprout out of these events with completely different shifts in their mindset. And so we're going to have a good time there. So if you are, whoever you join GRN with, they're going to have an affiliate link actually for even that event. So get back with them about the no excuses so we can all party together and have a good old time and learn some good stuff. So Michelle's going to be speaking it up on stage, and then we're all just going to be rocking out together. So here's Crystal in the house. I wanted her to pop on because she's been doing crazy in GRN forever. So just give, have you been watching this at all, Crystal, or you just got off a hangout, didn't you?
Yeah, I just got out. I'm surprised you're still here, Michelle.
I know.
With the...
Dude, when you hang out with me on these hangouts,
Vincent makes us all stay.
They don't end. People stay here forever. We just have too much fun. There's still hundreds of people on the line. We can't leave them. No, but Crystal made a $1,000 commission this week, and she makes tons of money all the time with Global Resorts. I just want Crystal to kind of give her little background of what Global Resorts did for you. I guess just give the vision of what happens for people as well once they join this community, because we've been talking about more than even the product and the amazing travel benefits they get. It's the people that we get to hang out with, the people we get to just have a good time with and go to these events with and all that good stuff too. So just give a real quick 3-minute deal of background, whatever. Just share some love.
Okay. Hey everybody, I'm Crystal Curtis. I live in New York City. I'm an art history professor. My semester is almost done. I taught my students today. I joined GRN because I was looking for something. I was looking for a product to sell. I got into the online industry through like a marketing system, and I didn't just want to sell how-to information. I wanted to get behind something that was really cool to use. What's cool about it is that when I tell people, I meet a lot of interesting people in New York all the time, lots of people here. And when I can just explain something where, yes, it's really cool travel membership, and when you refer it, you earn $3,200, everybody's eyes light up, even if they're like financial advisors in Midtown or whatever, or like, you know, they own a company somewhere else. It's just like, it's just really curious. It's very interesting to them. So I know in the online marketing space, kind of framing that can get really like dull to people because we're always kind of bombarded with make money offers all the time. But it is a very unique and interesting offer outside of this industry. So I really like to get behind it because of that. The other thing that I really appreciate about Global Resorts Network that I knew right away and that I still like is that it really attracts a very cool, high caliber type of person. And I really appreciate that. We're not a community of like spammers or like schemers. It's like, it just really attracts people who are legit and like to have fun, and that's really important to me. So that's why I like to put a lot of energy into this community.
That's awesome. So when we talked about, every single one of us talked about, well, I don't even know if I asked you, Rhonda, but we talked about the first time that you like pop these sales. Like, what did it feel like? The fact that one sale minimum is $1,000, unless they just did the discovery. But like, what does it feel like inside when you realize that, you know, for us in particular, it like flipped the switch, and for Michelle as well, and I'm sure Rhonda, it flipped the switch into like the reality of like life can be so different. But what did it feel like into you? I mean, when you started popping those sales?
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I thought you asked Rhonda. I'm sorry.
No, you.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a really, really interesting cash windfall. It's unusual. A lot of people, that's a month income, you know, or, you know, more. So it's very life-changing, and it's what you realize when you kind of get into the cyber entrepreneur space, it really does take pretty much as much effort to generate a lead for a $39 product as it does for a $1,000 or $5,000 product. It's really about the way that you frame it. So what I feel like this does for you as someone who is looking to increase your skill sets in this marketplace is that it makes you a better communicator, because you can't just go around like selling $5,000 programs all the time. But you can if you frame it with really powerful, you know, storytelling, and we have so many great testimonials here. The other weird thing, sorry Vince, I just gotta say, the other really interesting thing about Global Resorts Network is that women do really well here, which is just, I mean, come on, it's just really unusual in the really like sausage fest internet marketing space. So,
I so love Crystal when she talks.
So I'm just, it's just,
and
it's
all
like,
the men just dropped off.
actually, viewers are rising right now, so they must be getting all excited.
Yeah. So it's I don't know what it is. I think again because it's easy to get, and for like the travel thing is like it's really intuitive. I think for like certain type of personalities to talk about, and so. I don't know, there's something cool about this. Even if it was like a $20,000 product or whatever, it would be the same, because it's like a really beautiful program to talk about. Like I joined because I looked at the database and I saw that they had condos in Whistler, Whistler Village, Park City, Vail. These are all places that I go regularly. So I was really excited to take all my friends to go hang out, to go mountain biking this summer and go skiing in the winter and things like that. So there's just a way that it just, you know, like why not just use it and sell it, and people's eyes light up when you say $3,200, and it's fun.
That's something that Mark did when he first started. Was he went to, I think, Hawaii or something, and brought some of his friends. He's like, all you guys have to do is get your flight out there, because all he paid was $400 for the week. So like, you're like the cool person now, because you're bringing people to these amazing places, and you're like, you don't tell them how much you spend. You're just like, yeah, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got it. It's all good.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Just buy me everything for the trip.
We're staying in Princeville. You know, everybody knows Kauai, Princeville. We have a resort in Princeville, and that's like the best location in, you know, Rhonda. In
my daughter's
Hawaii.
name is Honolulu. Yes.
That's crazy. I mean, there's 5,000 places on the registry, and they add them all the time. So
one thing that I did use the membership for was a back-to-back conference. So there's probably people on the line who don't just go to No Excuses, but you might be, you know, addicted to conferences like I am every month or somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I went to Florida, and I went to Miami, and then I went to Orlando for back-to-back events, and I used a GRN property between the events. So that was really cool. We were like doing webinars by the pool.
Oh my gosh. I need to know where you went in Orlando, because we're going to Orlando in June. You'll have to share with me what resort it was.
I forgot the name of it, but when I saw some people, I saw some GRN members at one of the events, and they actually had Doug McAllister. I don't know if he's on the line. He had some good recommendations, and I think
cool.
Brenda has.
That's awesome.
I'm going to check it out.
You guys can actually see, let me go here, for those of you who are on the line right now, still, which is awesome. Appreciate you guys. If you go to, let's see, let me go back here. Okay, so if you go below this video you're watching right now, or this presentation, and you click on Michelle's image, you'll open up the blog that you're going to get. I just want to keep planting that seed. If you go to the Home tab over here, and you scroll down, Crystal's actually in here, right here. Crystal Curtis, 3 quick ways to capitalize on the mobile economy with a permanent traveler business. So you can read about her little story, and you can actually see a cool video that she shot down here at the bottom where she used GRN for this awesome place right off the beach. And that's cool. I love how you shot that. I got to start doing that when I'm going, so we got to rock that out for sure. So yeah, you guys, I just want to let you guys know you could check that out really quick. But one more time, below this presentation you're watching right now, there's 2 different options. We talked about them, so I'm not going to go over for the people who are still on here, but you got the GRN Discovery membership. It's $197. You get a $75 commission off of that. And then the Global Resorts Network membership, of course, that's $2,000, $5,000, and $12,500. You make $1,000 on the first one. You make $3,250 on the second one, and you make $7,700 on the third one. I don't even know how to count that high. So it's madness. Anyways, so I just want to go over that real quick again, just let people know that they could check you out on that blog. Rock and roll. So did you guys have anything else left? I mean, I can't believe it. We still have over 100-something people here. So I don't know. I was just thinking, like, if you guys have questions, we're about to roll out of here. So just make sure you're asking questions below. But it looks like everybody's good.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out and whoever brought you to this webinar. I mean, be sure to get back with them. You know, I hope that you were at least able to get a lot of value out of this. And for those guests on here, I mean, do exactly what Vincent said. I mean, we are looking forward to having you in our community. I'm confident right now in just telling you that it's not a mistake. It's something that you need to add to your portfolio, kind of as Crystal was saying her reasons why, and Rhonda and mine and Vincent. You know, it's a definite experience, you know, and it's something that, as you heard my husband mention and I have mentioned, I mean, it changed our lives. This is where we started, and we're still here, and we have no plans of going anywhere.
Yeah, you know what I love the most is, you know, my family's actually been traveling for 4.5 years, and now that we're part of Global Resorts. Last night we were just going through. We're going to Spain in August. We're like, wow! I mean, really, the amount of money that we've been spending, it's. I never thought this was really possible. I mean, I've been part of other companies, but now my life is travel, and travel is something that every person has passion for, and it's also available now for every person to actually do you know, live and stay at the different places that, you know, it's most can't do. So, and the community is amazing, and what I would love the most to see is people that decide to get started with GRN this week or tonight especially, that you just say, I'm going to No Excuses, because every one of us, I know, Crystal, you're going, right? No Excuses? She's always there. She's an event junkie, but we're all going to be there, and so is Mark. And you're actually going to say, okay, I bought this program from you, Mark, and you're going to actually be able to shake this guy's hand and say, look him in the eyes and look at us in the eyes and say, all right, I'm part of your family. And that's really what I love about it the most, is that we're available, we're there, and you know, it's just a great thing to do. So
rock and roll. Crystal, you say your last two. Well, I guess we'll all just say our last and roll out so people can start joining us.
I guess if you're still here, there's no reason to be on the fence. I look forward to seeing you inside our private Facebook group. Get your membership today.
I was going to show them that really quick Speaking of, okay, this is our, so you're not going to be, I just want to let you guys know, because a lot of companies you'll get in and it's like, all right, you're just part of an email list now and you got to start connecting with everybody. We have an entire Global Resorts Network family. Okay, so right here, as you can see, we just started really rolling this group out. It used to be only private, what is it, only about 2 months ago. So then we started doing all this new stuff, and we went from like 200 and something members to like 411 in like a month. It was just crazy. But we're growing like crazy. You can see we've got 9 new people here in just the last couple of days, and we have everything that you'd ever want. We got connections that you need. You're never going to be lost. As you can see tonight, some people don't even like me showing this, but the way you got here, this is how easy it is. Rhonda always talks to me.
People don't like me.
Like, no, some people don't like when I show that.
No, I love it. You gotta show them. It's so
like,
easy.
wait,
I'm like, darn it. I wish everyone thought that I wrote that. Right? It was so easy.
So probably a lot of you guys tonight got here just from this, it's what's called swipe copy. So all people really had to do was come down here. They would just copy the subject line on the email they sent you, or even the Facebook post they sent you. They just copy that, boom, paste that in, and then right here on the body, they just copy all this awesome information real quick, and yada yada. So it's like they worked really, really hard on that, right? And actually, no, that was me. Anyways, so then right here where you see it says GRN Discovery link, all you do is copy, paste that into their email, rock and roll, and then boom, they send that out to the world. It's really that easy. And then you can actually come down here, you click on this image, and you just go ahead and click Save Image As and steal it. All right, just go ahead and steal that image. We let anybody steal anything. So for example, right here on my Facebook page, people would just use that image, boom, and then put their affiliate links on top of their image, and then that's all there is to it. So you never have to feel like you have to really, we make it almost as lazy as you can possibly ever be. You know, because like you just copy and paste stuff, you add a little bit of value to whatever you want, and you know, at the end of the day, you go out and have a good time. Like some people might have sent you here, which I hope they didn't, and then just like said, okay, you guys go and just leverage us, but whatever. But at the end of the day, that's really all there is to it. You're just copying and pasting, putting your affiliate link that you're going to get when you join, and send people and just leverage.
A little smarter than that, okay?
And just leverage what we're doing, you know. You know, because at the end of the day, what do you mean we're smarter than that? No, like, so a lot of people, like, well, I'm just talking to the people who are beginning, right? No, so, because at the end of the day,
I love it. It's
people,
wonderful.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, people in our level, you know, like, we all know how to write our own emails, do our own things, do our own links, and create all this stuff. But people who are just getting in the industry, they don't know how to write. They haven't wrote a bazillion emails like us. You know, they haven't done all this stuff that we're doing. So now you just get in, you get part of this family, you know, you get to this live event, which would be really, I mean, that's huge. If you can get to that live event and at no excuses, that's been really good. But then you have all the directions. It's like, here, just, you get your blog, you copy the stuff, you get your link, let's roll together, you know? And then we just have a good old time. So at the end of the day, just don't feel like when you join that you're going to be another part of an email list and we're just going to send you stuff. Like, this is real people in this real place, and we have real connections. I mean, we're real friends outside of this. You know, it's not, it's just, it's awesome. It's so freaking fun. We have a good old time. So that's all I wanted to show real quick. Just to show our awesome little community right there. We have, you know, video challenges where even if you didn't make a sale, but you did really good videos and stuff, you get to still be on the leaderboard. I mean, it's just really, really fun, okay? So we have a really good time. I just wanted to show that because a lot of people think, you know, they're watching a webinar and they just click the link and it's like, well, now what? You know, like, you're going to get to be a part of something that's super, super valuable. And Mark chimes in here, you know, every once in a while with some really cool wisdom. All of us chime in here with some really cool wisdom. And at the end of the day, we're just going to have some fun. You know, that's all we do. We have a good old time. All right, Michelle, you got last words because this was all about you tonight. What do you want to say, and then we'll roll out of here.
I just want to thank everybody. I hope everybody on here that's a guest gets started with us because I can't wait to see that community grow and see all those new members added in so we can start changing lives.
Rock and roll. All right, y'all, have a beautiful night. We'll see you in the fam. Bye. And we'll see. Okay.